Hey Wargamers, today I want to briefly talk about a question that I see popping up time and time again, and that question is, what are the models for each support system? So that's what we're going to talk about today. If you like this video, go ahead, hit subscribe, that way you don't miss any upcoming content. Alright, so I own every version of the Tau Codex that's ever been produced. Every single one that's come out, I have it right here, even though some of them are virtually the same book. Yeah, so that's what we're going to use to figure out the answer to the question of the day. And let's start with the first codex, the original codex. Now, that codex is pretty vague. In fact, there is only a couple different support systems at that time. If you're including the shield generator, we have the shield generator. Otherwise, it was just the multi-tracker, target lock, and drone controller. And those were the only things that we had models for. In fact, if you look in the codex here, you'll see this was so old school they couldn't even spend the time to paint the models. So we're looking at bare plastic here, but you'll notice that the multi-tracker and the drone controller are the exact same bit. They don't actually have different bits. The target lock is really the only thing that really stands out as being special, and the shield generator is just a shield generator. So that's what the original codex says. In the next edition of the codex, we saw the addition of multiple other support systems. We still have all the core weapons. We still have the multi-tracker and target lock and shield generator, but in addition to that, we have a new stealth suit kit, and that meant that we had a new drone controller bit. So drone controllers got their own bit in the form of the stealth suit support system. And then also we had a new commander kit that was released right around this time. And that had two particular systems that were built just for that kit. That was the command and control node and the positional relay. And those were different support systems that you had access to through that model, through the Chasso or Chassel kit, but were not something that were readily available in the Crisis Suit kit. So they called those out specifically. And I think that this is the basis for a lot of the guides that you see on the internet. You know, a lot of people will answer this question by posting a picture that shows, you know, this support system is this bit and this support system is this other bit. And there's some basis to that, right? There's a historic basis in these codices that suggests that, but this is actually the last time that we see particular support systems called out by name with different bits addressed to them. And that's because following this edition of the Codex, we had the introduction of the Riptide, and the Riptide had a series of different support systems that were just random things. They just, different faces to the same body, and they didn't actually have specific names associated with them in the Codex. So this is the last time that we really see particular support systems called out by name, and the last time where there's really a real chance at having a WYSIWYG battlesuit in terms of support systems. After this point, support systems are treated as whatever you want them to be. So even if you're using the historically target lock bit, it doesn't actually have to be a target lock. If you're using the historical multi-tracker bit, it doesn't have to be a multi-tracker. Your support systems can really be whatever you want them to be, and the rule of cool dominates modeling of support systems on Tau suits today. So long story short, it doesn't matter. There isn't a particular sprue that has to be a different support system. You can have it be whatever you want. Now, if you want to be fluffy and adhere to, kind of the intent of the different bits, there are lots of different sources that you can look at. We just talked about a few here, but you can find guides online that will recommend certain names for certain support systems. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. So hopefully that answers this ongoing perennial question. And the answer is it doesn't matter. So let me know what you think in the comments below. And of course, happy wargaming. Hey everyone, this video is made possible by my supporters over on Patreon. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining our community over there as well. Special thanks to No Excuses Panda, Scott Heater, Tao Oswald, Nick Steele, Jared Egler, Scott J. Smith, Stephen Cohen, Brian Mann, Jake Johnson, Eric Jackson, Benjamin, RP, Julian Peck, Andy M. Young, Peter Benjamin Parker, and Giovanni DiMaggio.